When you stop clinging, the universe begins to bestow Buddhist wisdom on the art of letting go. There's a miraculous shift that happens when you finally stop clinging. Not in the careless, I quit kind of way, but in the deep, soul-freeing release that unhooks you from the invisible chains of fear, pressure, and control. Because here's the truth no one tells you. Most of the struggle in your life isn't caused by what's missing, but by your refusal to let go of what's already gone. In Buddhism, this is the moment the universe leans in and begins to send what's truly yours. Stay with me until the end, because I'll share a powerful bonus lesson about the final inner shift that makes life start working in your favor. 1. The silent prison of holding on. There is a strange comfort in holding on. You convince yourself that if you cling hard enough, nothing will be lost. Yet beneath that illusion of safety lies a quiet suffocation. The heart grows heavy, the mind restless, and life itself seems to shrink within the confines of your grip. The tighter you hold, the more the thing you love slips away, like water seeping through clenched fingers. Buddhist wisdom teaches that attachment is the seed of suffering. When we attach, we do not simply love. We demand, we fear, we try to control. This fear feels like protection, but it is, in truth, a silent prison. And here is the paradox. What you desperately try to keep from leaving often leaves faster, because it cannot breathe in your grasp. Imagine a small bird resting in your hand. If you close your fist around it, its fragile body will struggle, panic, and fade. But if you open your palm, it may fly away, or it may choose to remain, resting there in trust. Life, too, is like that bird. It does not thrive when caged. It flourishes when given space. In the modern world, we cling to relationships, careers, identities, and outcomes. You may hold on to a job you've outgrown because change feels risky. You may clutch at a relationship out of fear of loneliness. Or perhaps you grip the image of who you used to be, afraid of the unknown self waiting to emerge. But in all these cases, your closed hand prevents you from receiving what is meant for you. The act of letting go is not loss. It is an act of faith. In Buddhist practice, release is a form of trust in the natural flow of the universe. Just as rivers find the sea without being pushed, life finds its way to where it belongs without force. By opening your hand, you create space for blessings to enter. Ask yourself, what in my life am I gripping out of fear? What weight sits in my hand so tightly that my fingers have forgotten how to stretch? Remember, letting go is not abandoning what you care for. It is giving it, and yourself, room to breathe, to grow, to return if it truly belongs. The hands that cling cannot receive. Only when you release can the universe place its gifts. 2. The invisible burdens. There are weights we carry that no one else can see. You smile, you keep walking, yet inside, something drags at your every step. It is not made of iron or wood. It is made of thoughts, memories, and silent fears. These invisible burdens break the strongest backs, not because of their size, but because they go unnoticed for too long. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that suffering is often born not from what is happening now, but from what we continue to carry from yesterday. Like a backpack filled with stones, you move through life without questioning why it feels so heavy. Some of these stones were placed there by others, expectations, criticism, comparisons. Some you placed yourself, regrets you refuse to release, fears you nurture in secret, the need to control what cannot be controlled. Imagine sitting down, placing that backpack before you, and opening it for the first time. Inside, you pick up one stone and whisper its name: regret. Another, fear. Another still, the need for control. As you set each stone on the ground, your shoulders feel lighter, your breath deeper, your steps freer. You realize that much of what you carried was never yours to bear in the first place. The truth is, you are not your regrets, nor your fears, nor your need for control. Each stone you lay down creates space for something new to arrive: clarity, freedom, and joy. The universe cannot fill hands already full of weight. Only when you release what does not belong to you can you finally receive what is meant for you. And when that happens, you will walk lighter, not because the path has changed, but because you have. 3. The dance between effort and invitation. There is a point where striving, which once felt noble, begins to push life away. You tell yourself you are working toward your dreams, yet the more you force, the more they seem to drift beyond reach. You cannot push the river and expect it to flow faster. In truth, the river already knows where it is going. Your task is not to control its current, but to trust it. Buddhism teaches the middle way, the balance between effort and surrender. Action is necessary, but so is space. The mind that clings too tightly to a timeline or outcome creates tension. And tension blocks the very blessings it seeks. Patience is not waiting without action. It is acting without desperation. Imagine sitting quietly beside a river. In its waters, you see pieces of your desires drifting toward you. Love, opportunities, peace. They arrive not because you chase them upstream, but because the flow of life carried them to your shore. When you stop forcing and start inviting, you align yourself with the natural flow of life. Doors open without struggle. People and opportunities appear without being chased. Letting go does not mean losing control. It means choosing trust over fear. And in that space of trust, the universe often delivers more than you imagined. Not because you demanded it, but because you made room for it to find you. 4. Clenched fist thinking. The Buddha once compared a closed hand to a closed mind. A fist may feel strong, but it cannot receive. In the same way, a mind clenched around one rigid belief cannot welcome the truth when it arrives. We mistake tightness for certainty, yet it is often just fear wearing the mask of strength. In Buddhist wisdom, the danger of clenched fist thinking is that it traps us inside our own narrow vision. Like soil so compacted it cannot receive the seed, a closed mind cannot nurture new possibilities. The Buddha's teachings invite us to loosen our mental grip, to replace "I know" with "I wonder." Curiosity softens the mind. It transforms life from a fixed script into a living, breathing journey. Ask yourself, what belief am I holding so tightly that it has no room to grow? What would happen if you allowed space for life to surprise you? When you unclench the palm of your mind, you will notice how much more you can hold. The universe is always offering gifts, but it will not force them into a closed fist. Release your grip, and you may find the sky resting gently in your palm. 5. The pause that feels like nothing. Right after you finally let go, there is often a strange quiet. A pause that can feel like nothing at all. You expected relief or an immediate shift, yet instead, you meet emptiness. This stillness can be unsettling, but Buddhist wisdom reminds us, emptiness is the space where life breathes. Without it, nothing new can enter. The world teaches us to constantly fill the gaps, to replace one relationship with another, to rush into the next goal. Yet the space after letting go is not a void to escape from. It is the fertile ground where transformation begins. Like a bow pulled back before the arrow flies, the pause is a necessary tension, a gathering of unseen energy before motion returns. To rush this moment would be to weaken your aim. Trust that in this pause, life is rearranging itself in your favor. The universe is aligning people, events, and opportunities in ways you cannot yet see. If you can stay patient, you will feel the release, the arrow flying true toward its mark. The pause is not the end of your journey. It is the breath before the next step. And in that breath, everything you deserve is already finding its way to you. 6. The universe's gentle tests. Often, just when you finally let go, life places a small challenge before you. It can feel like the universe is testing you, asking, "Are you sure you're ready?" This is not punishment. It is a gentle test to see if your surrender is real. Buddhist wisdom teaches that the path to freedom is walked not only in still moments but also in moments of challenge. It is like standing at the shore, watching the tide recede. The water pulls back, leaving the sand exposed and bare. You might feel abandoned, unsure if it will return. But tides always return, and often they rush back fuller, carrying shells, treasures, and life with them. The retreat is not a loss. It is a gathering of strength. Ask yourself, what test am I facing right now that might actually be proof I'm close to receiving? When you see life's challenges as gentle confirmations instead of obstacles, your fear shifts to faith. You begin to recognize that the tests are not there to block you. They are there to make you strong enough to receive. Bonus lesson. The moment you're ready to receive, there comes a quiet moment on the path when the struggle ends. Not because you have forced an outcome, but because you have opened yourself enough to receive. It is a subtle shift, often unnoticed. In the instant it happens, you have released the clenching, the constant reaching, the restless need to control. Your hands are finally empty. And in that emptiness, your heart feels full. This is the moment the universe has been waiting for. The moment you're ready to receive. It is not unlike the first drops of rain after a long drought. The ground has been dry, cracked, and thirsty. Then suddenly, without warning, the sky opens up. The rain comes not as a slow trickle, but as a flood, full, generous, and unstoppable. Every seed that once slept begins to awaken. The same happens with your heart when the blessings you've waited for finally arrive. Being ready to receive is not just about wanting something. It means being open enough to hold it. If your hands are still holding fears, grudges, or old dreams, where will the new ones go? A crowded heart cannot welcome a new sunrise. The moment you are prepared to receive is never by chance. It comes from every small surrender, every act of trust, every letting go that has emptied your hands and cleared your heart. And when that moment arrives, the universe does not wait. Like rain on thirsty earth, it comes in fullness, and it comes to remain.